Hi, everyone, and welcome to CaringKind Live, CaringKind's weekly live stream. I'm Chris Doucette, your host, and I will let you see my name when I put it on here. There you go. That's me. I'm Chris Doucette. I'm the Director of Community Engagement for CaringKind. It's great to see you here. Thank you so much for joining us. We do these live streams every Wednesday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Standard Time. We're recording right here in New York City from our broadcast studio here in my studio apartment in Queens. It is a beautiful autumn day. I hope you're having a great day. We're having a really busy day and busy season at CaringKind. Fall is absolutely nuts. Because we've got all sorts of things from the Walk to the Gala to the Lorraine lecture. We're going to get into all of that, including my interview today with Elizabeth Santiago, who is the director of the Wonderous Safety Program at CaringKind. So we've got a lot to cover, so let's get right into it. The first thing we're going to do is talk about CaringKind highlights. The very first thing that I'd like to talk to you about is, as always, to talk to you about social media for just a real quick second. You know, for an organization like CaringKind, social media matters. It really is very important. The more people who subscribe and follow us on all of our social media platforms like Twitter and YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram, the more you follow, the more you like, comment, heart, favorite, and all sorts of things, the more you interact with our social media content, then the more you amplify our message and the more our message gets into the hands of the people who need it most. And that is, of course, families affected by Alzheimer's and dementia. So please follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all of Facebook, all of the social media platforms. Links to every single one of those platforms can be found in the show description of this video. You're watching this on Facebook or YouTube. Just click the See More option underneath this video, and you will see all the links to our social media. Please join us and see all the good stuff that we have to offer. In fact, I'm going to show you one of those things a little bit later. But before we get there, let's cover some of our CaringKind highlights. And remember, this is live, right? So I'm broadcasting live. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, please make comments, ask questions. If you have comments or questions for me about the walk or for Elizabeth, who we're going to be talking to a little bit later, then please just make a comment in the YouTube section or in the Facebook, add a comment, and we'll make that happen. All right. So, and I just got a text message from Linda saying that the video looks good. So that's good. She's my backup. She's kind of like my producer off stage, and she tells me whether the audio and video looks good, because when it's live, you have no idea. And chances are good that I am pressing the wrong button at some point. So it's always good to have backup. Thank you so much, Linda, for that. And in fact, there she is right now, giving us a little heart. Thank you very much. If you want to give me a heart, give this live stream a heart, give Elizabeth a comment or a thumbs up, please. Add your comment to the YouTube or Facebook section. All right, now on to CaringKind highlights. The first one you should know about right now is Lorraine. The lecture is today, Wednesday, September 16th at 1:30. So when you're done watching this live stream, call our helpline real quick, get registered for the Lorraine lecture. Ann Basting is an author who wrote a book called Creative Care, Transforming How We View Dementia Care. So she is going to be leading a lecture on her book from 1:30 to 2:30 today. So call up our helpline and make sure that you get registered for that lecture. She has some really interesting things to say about caregiving and through the lens of her experience in Alzheimer's and dementia caregiving. So please call that helpline, and call our helpline for anything that you need. Our helpline is your first step in getting the information and resources you need for your Alzheimer's and dementia caregiving journey. All right, so that is the Lorraine lecture happening in the next 30 minutes. So enjoy that if you get on there. The very next highlight is our running club. Our running club is a free program that we offer every Thursday night. We run in Central Park. I go to Central Park and watch everybody's stuff, and our team of runners they've run the marathon for us, the half marathon. But if you're just a casual runner who likes to jog or run drills, the weekly running club at CaringKind is a great way to stay in shape and to make yourself do drills that you normally wouldn't do when you're running solo. So if you have any questions about the running club, just go to our website, cknyc.org/running club, and you can sign up and join us. There's no financial commitment. There's no fundraising obligation. It's really just for fun for people who can get together and run together. It's one of the few things that you can do safely in this COVID-19 environment. So it's super fun. Fall is an incredible time to run in Central Park. Absolutely beautiful. So please join us Thursday night, 7 o'clock, Central Park at 90th Street and 5th Avenue's entrance to the Central Park. So that's that. The next update is, of course, the Forget Me Not Gala. That's October 26th. It is a virtual gala this year, so you don't have to be here in New York City to participate. So just, again, call the helpline to get registered for the gala. And we are working on the video production of that event. It's going to be about a 40-minute event with speakers and performers and the whole gala experience. So that's going to be a really interesting version of the in-person gala that we have normally done every year. So that's the gala. And what else do I have for you? So much stuff. Of course, the walk. The walk is October 11th. And that is my main responsibility right now, personally, and professionally, is to make sure that this walk happens. It is on Sunday, October 11th. It's going to start off online. It's going to go to in person, and then we're going to come back online. In fact, I'm going to share my screen right now and share with you this is a sneak peek into what our day is going to look like. And as you can see, we're going to have a 9:30 a.m. yoga. It's 15 minutes. All you need is a chair and a towel, and Avita Bansi will guide us through 15 minutes of gentle yoga poses. That's stretching, centering, breathing exercises. It's going to be a really great way to start the day. Then at 10 a.m., we launch our opening ceremony with all of these people. Of course, our host this year, as almost always, is Bill Ritter, a reporter from ABC 7 News. He is a major advocate for CaringKind, huge supporter of ours, and we're so grateful that he's here again to host our opening ceremony, featuring Eleonora, our CEO, Jed Levine, who is our outgoing CEO, and David Hirsch, our board president, and our board chair, rather, and our two award winners. The Good Samaritan Award is going to Lorraine Ruggieri and our team of volunteer support group leaders, and our Community Partner Award is going to Jessica Zwirling from the Montefiore Medical Center for the Aging Brain. So that's the opening ceremony. At 10:30, we walk. At 1 p.m., we come back in person. Not in person, we come back online at 1 o'clock for the virtual tables. So you can interact with CaringKind staff, sponsors, Tech Expo participants. And then at 1:30 is a caregiving panel discussion on caregiving and COVID-19. And we close our walk at 2 p.m. with David Hyde Pierce and his Broadway friends singing songs to express our gratitude for all the work that you are doing this season in this walk. Creating, advocating for CaringKind and for Alzheimer's and dementia caregivers, as well as raising money that pay for all the programs that we offer caregivers who need us. And one of those programs is the Wonderous Safety Program. And we're going to be talking to Elizabeth Santiago in just a minute about her program and the incredible work that she does there. So that is the caregiver. That is the walk in a nutshell. Thanks to Jen Camper, who just designed that amazing graphic that you just saw. So that's super cool. So glad she did that. And let's see, what else do I have for you guys today? So many things. One thing that I did want to share with you is that just yesterday or this morning, I'm losing track of time in quarantine world, the New York Times had an article called "Excess Weight May Increase Your Risk of Dementia." That was the headline anyway. And it's the connection between excess weight and dementia. And it talks about the correlation between the two. One doesn't necessarily cause the other, but the article goes into more detail about how those two things might be connected. If you want to click that link, you can find that link in the show description of this video. Whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, you can see the see more description and all of the links that I have. Sorry, I'm opposite of my video. You'll see all of the links, and there's like 20 of them in the show description of this video. So check out that article, very interesting. And the final CaringKind highlight before we get to Elizabeth is you have something on your back or face or hair campaign. We just launched a social media campaign 2 weeks ago, and it's designed to let people know the essence of what CaringKind does. You may have seen these on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. If you've seen these videos, there's a message. It starts off negative, but then it transforms into something positive. And that is really the essence of what CaringKind does. When people come to us, they come to us in a difficult situation, and CaringKind transforms that situation into a better situation. Obviously, CaringKind can't perform miracles and make everyone's bad situations go away completely, but we can transform them and empower people and equip people with the information and knowledge and resources and training that they need in order to transform their difficult experience into something that is more manageable. And that's the point of this social media campaign, is to communicate the essence of how we turn something that starts off negative and we can turn it into something positive. So to that end, I'm going to share with you the 3 videos. It's a 6-video campaign. The first 3 have already launched. You've probably already seen them. The next 3 are launching this week. And so I'm going to show you a montage of all 3 videos. The third one hasn't been released yet. So you're getting a sneak peek at this video that no one else has ever seen, just me. Only I have seen this, and now you're going to see it because you are watching this live broadcast. See, watching the live version of this has benefits. So check this out. It's about 45 seconds for all 3, 15 seconds apiece. And so I will see you back here in about 45 seconds. All right. All right, there you go. So that's our social media video campaign. We're transforming difficult situations into better situations, and we can only do that because we also have the support of donors like you. I'm hoping that your donors watching too, and our donors and individual donors and institutional partners and corporate funders and our foundation partners. Everyone who teams up and helps fund our work can make our work possible. So thank you very much for that. And if you see one of these videos in the wild of Twitter or Instagram or YouTube, please like the video, share it so people can learn about CaringKind and get connected to the resources they need. I see a couple of comments, so let's check this out. Oh, look, Jed's watching. I'm a great host. Oh, thanks. I'm doing whatever I can to make this work. Thank you so much. Dominic Queen. Dominic is probably tuning in because he was one of the models for one of the videos. If you remember the video, you have something in your teeth, that was Dominic who posed for that. Thank you very much, Dominic. And yeah, we're not using stock images, guys. I'm using CaringKind staff. So quick thank you to Dominic and to Nikki and to Peggy, all of whom served as models for those three videos. So thank you guys very much. It's a team effort. We're doing whatever we can. We're professionals, we're administrators, we're models, we're actors. CaringKind staff will do whatever we can to support families affected by Alzheimer's and dementia. Now, speaking of Alzheimer's and dementia and providing support, I would like to introduce our guest for today, and that is the director of our Wonderous Safety Program. Please welcome Elizabeth Santiago.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Chris.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm good. What do you think of the videos? What is it?
Excellent. Beautiful models.
They were good, I think.
I agree.
I don't know why Dominic is so photogenic, but he always looks like he always is the star of every walk we do.
Great smile.
He does have a good smile. Yeah, I'm gonna steal it from him. Thank you so much for joining me on the live stream. We are here to talk about the Wonderous Safety Program. So could you start by just talking about, when you meet someone new and you want to introduce the Wonderous Safety Program to them and give them the quick 20-second snapshot of what the program does, what do you say?
Well, Chris, first and foremost, many caregivers often say it's never going to happen. I'm always with them. They're not going to wander. But the fact is that 6 out of 10 people will wander at some point of time with the diagnosis of Alzheimer's or dementia. But it is important to have an identifier on the person. I think in order for you to understand or how to go about this, I think you need to know the history of the program, which was started here at CaringKind, formerly known as the Alzheimer's Association. And Jed Levine took this small project on. And so what happened back in 1990, there was a caregiver whose mom went missing, and she had nowhere to turn, and she called here and she spoke to Jed and said, my mom is missing. She has Alzheimer's disease. I need help. Can you help me? So of course, Jed reached out and took an assessment of what was going on and the characteristics of the person, and took it upon himself to begin to form a bulletin, a missing persons bulletin, and then manually he began faxing this bulletin out to hospitals and shelters throughout the 5 boroughs. And through the grace of God, the woman was found in Jamaica Hospital. But, if you could just take a minute and say to yourself, wow, what does that feel like? A minute, 5 minutes to some people is an eternity. So what Jed did from that point on, he said, this is important and it's needed in the community. So he began to formalize a fax system. And again, including hospitals and shelters throughout the 5 boroughs and emergency responders. And then the CEO at that time felt that it was important to have people on our 800 line that we had at that time. And this 800 telephone number was dedicated for the after hours. And so soon after that, what happened was that other chapters began to notice what we were doing, and all of a sudden it became national. And again, through the grace of God, and I always believe things happen for a reason. There was a senator named Senator Mark Hatfield who took notice of what Jed did, and he wanted a meeting with Jed. And so Jed went to visit him at the office and explained to him exactly what he started and what his vision was. And Jed's vision was basically, let's get an identifier for the person. Let's get some clothing labels for a person. Let's get a keychain holder for the person. And let's get these people safe. Let's
Mhm.
get an identifier on them as soon as possible. And it wasn't such a hard sell for Jed, only because Senator Mark Hatfield could identify with him.
Mhm.
Fortunately, Senator his dad was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease,
Mhm.
and he also had wandered several times. So
Mm.
he knew what the mission was for Jed.
Right.
And so soon after that, what happened was that the senator, um, he got us a grant,
Mhm.
and we went under the Juvenile Justice Department. And
Mm.
so we began to collaborate with the New York City Police Department. And so it was founded and it all started back in 1993. And ever since then, it's been moving forward.
Wow. And in a nutshell, what does it do? What does the program do?
So the program actually saves lives, and it brings some sort of comfort to caregivers. It provides the caregiver with a bracelet that they can put on the member.
Mhm.
On this bracelet, we would engrave their first name. We would provide them with an identification number. We would also engrave if the person has an allergy towards a medication, or is taking a blood thinner, or has a difficulty hearing from one ear, or has
Mhm.
poor vision loss. All that could be engraved. Yeah, that's great if you could put it
Mhm.
on
Yeah.
the camera.
Yeah.
And most important, we have an 800 nationwide number. That if the person is found wandering, the 800 number is there, and the Good Samaritan or the emergency responders can call it in, and the person can be returned back to their family members.
Wow. So it is really, this is a relatively low tech technology. So it's a bracelet with an identification number on it. And if a person goes missing and they're found by a Good Samaritan or the police
Right.
department, then they can be repatriated to their family or nursing home.
Right, right. And it does work. Even though it's low tech, it does work. And I think
Hmm.
that's the beauty of the bracelet. We highly suggest you put it on the dominant wrist so the person is not able to remove it, and it's visible. And most people who see an identifier like this on a
Hmm.
person will
Right.
approach them, will definitely approach them to help
Yeah.
them.
How when it comes to your experience in here in New York City, how, in the since 1993, that's a long time, that's almost 30 years. What or over yeah, about 30 years. During that time, can you give me some numbers, some statistics? How many people have gone missing? How many people have been found? How many, or in the past year, how many people have been found through this where the bracelet has actually helped, identify someone and return them to their home or nursing home?
Yeah, so like on this year so far, we've had approximately 125 incidents,
Hmm.
which rounds about like 15 to 17 a month. Most have been returned home safely. Some have been found deceased,
Hmm.
unfortunately. But currently, we do have 3 outstanding missing people. I have a Mr. Singleton and a Mr. Gibbs and Miss Daly, who are currently still missing.
Well, let's take a look at that, since that's very important. Since we've got this platform,
Sure.
let's share them right now and let's talk about them.
Sure.
Uh,
So Mr. Singleton is a 77-year-old male black. He was last seen leaving his home
mhm,
and walking to a McDonald's out in Brooklyn.
mhm,
And he is 160 pounds, a dark complexion, salt and pepper hair. He went missing 9/9/2019. So that's a year and what, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 days, a year and 8 days he's
yeah,
been missing.
yeah.
Yeah. So if anyone sees Mr. Singleton, please dial 911 and let us know he's still missing, and his family is still in search of him. We could use your support with that, definitely.
Yeah, And again, the location, and again, so your advice is to have people call 911. Don't try to look at the bracelet. Don't try to take matters in your own hand. If you think you know someone who might be wearing the bracelet, is he wearing the bracelet?
Oh, well, Mr. Singleton is not. He is not. He's not enrolled with us. No.
Okay, he's not enrolled. And so that makes a big difference then. Getting enrolled matters. It's important because that bracelet really can make the difference, because Mr. Singleton doesn't have any identifier. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah. So the bracelet really does help, even though it is low tech. It really can help connect someone with dementia to their identity and to their family and nursing home.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, let's take a look at the next one that we have here. There we go. Here we go. And this is
This is Mr. Gibbs. Yes, Mr. Gibbs. He's a 77-year-old male, 150 pounds, 5'7", medium built. He went missing back on October 14 of 2019. Mr. Gibbs is enrolled with us, and Mr. Gibbs' bracelet is not on him. He managed to take it off, and he just didn't want to wear the identifier. And I want to say to caregivers, and take this opportunity, that there are a lot of ways to really encourage someone to wear the product. Sometimes a grandchild could give the gift to the person, a barber, someone who they have a long-term relationship, hairdresser, barber. You could ask the male person, someone who's an old-time friend. Yeah. Sometimes a gift from the caregiver doesn't always work. But I know that children have a way with their grandparents or their fathers or aunts and uncles. And it's a good time to make a little party out of it. Maybe some cake and candy and balloons. And this is, we love you so much. And this is for you, for me, and you're special. Just reminding the person how important they are to them. Yeah. And put it on that dominant wrist and, send it out with a Hail Mary,
Is there a reason why the dominant wrist matters?
Yeah, Chris, that's a good question because, my bracelet fell. Yeah. So when it's on the dominant wrist, it's difficult to remove because we have a really, really different latch. I don't know if you could see it.
Here, let me minimize this so we can see what you're doing here. And I'm gonna solo you so that you can.
Okay, so we have this latch here, and so when you close the latch, it has to click. Okay. And so once it clicks, it's very difficult to open. You need your two thumbs.
Hold it up so we can see it in the camera.
Yeah. You see?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I see. Yep.
Right. So it's very difficult once it closes. So if I'm a right-handed person, so if my left hand is very weak, so I could sit here for a long time and try to open up this latch. It's going to be very difficult. But if I don't put it on my dominant hand and I put it on my left hand, I could open it up in a snap. My right hand is stronger than my left hand. Sure.
See, I love doing these interviews because I've known you for years, and yet I just learned something about why we do the things that we do. So that's so interesting. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
And especially for a person with dementia, Alzheimer's and dementia, their physical abilities are even more degraded. So it's even harder for them to take it off.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if anyone sees Mr. Gibbs, please, again, dial 911.
Okay.
It's going to be close to a year that he's missing, and his family is still in search of Mr. Gibbs.
Okay. And so that is Mr. Gibbs. And we're going to go to the third missing person who is missing, and that is Mabel.
Yes, we have Mabel Susie Daly. She went missing from the Bronx. She was going to a bakery to pick up some bread. She's an 86-year-old woman. She's approximately 4'11", 135 pounds, well built. But she was seen getting off a bus going towards 187th up in the Arthur Avenue section of the Bronx. She was going to pick up her bread, something that she's done frequently. And never returned home. And so again, she is not enrolled with us. She is carrying some identifiers with her, her daughter said. So if anyone has seen or heard of her, please dial 911 and let us know. Her family is still in search of her.
Yeah. What advice would you give, Elizabeth, to people who who are concerned about, just because you have Alzheimer's or dementia doesn't necessarily mean you wander. So at what point do you actually enroll someone in the Wonderous safety program?
No time is better than now.
Right.
The minute you find out there is a diagnosis, the person should get enrolled, because you could have a conversation with the person and let them know the reason why, that they can have poor judgment and forgetfulness, and the community is constantly changing, Chris. Like today we walk outside and, there's a bakery store on the corner, and tomorrow you walk out, or 6 months from now, and there's a clothing store there. Things are rapidly changing in communities.
Right.
But the sooner the better to have that safety net, that peace of mind for the family. Also taking up, stands in the home. So like preparing your home, like putting a door, camouflage in the door, with either a curtain or a beautiful picture frame in front of it. You could get a long picture frame. Putting a very small latch on the top of the door that may make it very difficult for someone to reach up high and open up the latch, because the caregiver also wants to take care of him or herself. They need the peace of mind. Windows, securing windows and back doors. If you have a house, people tend to go out to the patio, and if there's a gate, a person could wander from there. So taking precaution, safety measures in the home in the beginning is as important. And also you could bring the person in and have a conversation with them, about it, and they could be a part of it as well.
Yeah. In all the years, how many years have you been working on this project?
I started here in 2003. So what's that? 17 years?
17 years.
17 years.
Long time. In all of that time, do you have, does one moment stand out to you as a moment where you felt like you really helped someone, or a proud moment that you had in finding a missing person, or supporting a family, no matter what the outcome was? Is there one moment in particular that you think about?
Wow, Chris, that's a heavy question for me to answer. There's been so many surreal moments for me here, and I could just go back to 4 days ago. We were looking for this gentleman who left Brooklyn, Lenox Road in Brooklyn, and he was missing already, going into the 4th day. And the beauty about working in this program is that I have a lot of partners out in the community. I have a lot of senior centers that I work with, and home care agencies, and everybody becomes a partner when someone goes missing. And in this case, this gentleman went missing, and somehow he boarded a train and wound up in Chicago, Illinois. And he was carrying a cell phone. And the social worker that was helping me decided to call his cell phone, and it rang, and he picked up the phone. And as he was getting ready to purchase his ticket to go to Colorado, the social worker asked, can she please speak to the ticket holder there? And she informed the woman, listen, don't sell him this ticket. New York City Police Department are looking for him and he has dementia. Please call the emergency responders. And that's what she did. And so what happened, they took him to the local hospital where now the family is going to pick him up and be reunited with him. And this is how it works. It's a network of people, of communication, immediate communication. This is not a one-man job here. It's instant communication and networking with people. So that's one of many. I think, though, that the situations that are at times challenging for me is when we do find someone deceased, that this disease is very real and wandering is very real. It does happen, and it could happen at any time of the day or night. So the more the family has incorporated in the home and creates a network of people as well for themselves in the community. I know Hillary Clinton's famous saying is, it takes a village, right, to create, to help a child. Well, it takes a village to help this family that has someone with Alzheimer's, and that support is really needed out there for caregivers.
No one can do it alone, right?
Not at all, Chris.
No.
Not at all. Not at all. And I want to tell people that, CaringKind is here 24/7 to help them with a wandering issue if it does occur. And you don't have to be enrolled into the Wonderous safety program. I want to make that clear. If there's a situation where someone does go wandering, please dial 911. The police will come over. They'll do a canvassing and search the immediate area, and have the police call our 800-625-3780 number to report the person missing, and we will begin to activate a missing persons bulletin. And you will hear my voice. You won't see my face, but you'll hear my voice.
That's good to know. Well, we're already at the end of our time. So before we go, I was just curious if there's one piece of advice that you have for caregivers of someone with Alzheimer's and dementia. What is your advice to them?
Please enroll the person as soon as possible. Do it now. It's better now than never.
Prevention is key, right?
Exactly. And it will give you some peace of mind. Plus, you'll be connected to all our great programs and services here. And all our workshops and trainings. We have a lot to offer. So
all right.
please.
Good. You know how to sell. I've heard that. Well, that's it. Then that's great advice, right? Get people enrolled sooner. The sooner, the better.
Sooner, the better.
It can save a life. Like you said, you started this out by saying this program saves lives, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Elizabeth Santiago, thank you so much for heading up all your work there at the Wondrous Safety Program.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome. Peace out. See ya. Bye. And that was Elizabeth Santiago, the director of our Wonderous Safety Program. And that is our show for this week. So thank you very much for watching, whether you're watching live or you're watching a rebroadcast. No matter where you're watching us or when you're watching us, please subscribe to our YouTube and Facebook channels and like, comment, subscribe. Someone just made a comment right now. Let's see who it is. And it is Barbara London. So Elizabeth, if you're still watching, Barbara says hello. And Eleonora wrote in, Elizabeth is an amazing resource. Absolutely. She's been doing this for 17 years. So she knows what she's talking about. And also Rochelle Faison, thanks so much for watching. And yes, Elizabeth, again, after 17 years, she's got all the advice on protecting people with Alzheimer's and dementia from being hurt or being lost when they wander. So for more information about CaringKind, of course, you can always call our helpline or go to our website, cknyc.org or caringkindnyc.org if you're feeling like you want to exercise your fingers a little more. My name is Chris Doucette. We do this every Wednesday at 1 o'clock on Facebook and YouTube. And thank you very much for watching. We will see you next week at 1 o'clock. Thank you.